In this video, we're going to be using Stirling Gentleman, which you see right there, and the Harry's razor. The horror, a cart. Yes, we shall use it. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another video. I'm your host, CDB. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I really appreciate it. And if it's your first time here, I hope you'll consider subscribing below. So, as mentioned before, today we're going to use Stirling Gentleman. I'll show you what the full tub looks like right there. Let's just start out with the scent, and this is tobacco, vanilla, amber, musk. And that's what it smells like. I can pick up a little bit of each of those notes. Scent strength off this sample, I call it right at about medium, a 5. In terms of how I feel about the scent, it is just one of those in the middle for me. I don't love it. At the same time, I don't dislike it. So it's pleasant, it's enjoyable, but it wouldn't be at the top of my list scent-wise. But it also wouldn't be one that I avoid. The cost on these, if you get a sample like this, it's $3.50. And it's a full ounce, and you can get anywhere between 15 and 40 shaves. What I do, I cut off a piece and I share this with somebody. So hoping maybe they'll like it. Maybe they buy some Stirling. I just put one of these in the mail with some other stuff to another shaver today. So I love to share the samples, and I hope you will as well. Let's talk about the ingredients. We'll put them right there for you. You have some of the ingredients that I like: shea butter, lanolin, coconut milk. This is a proven formula. It lathers well if you lather it properly. It is not finicky to lather. It is very consistent in my view. And again, Stirling Gentleman, we'll show you a picture of the tub once again right there. Cost on this, if you buy the full tub, exceptional. It is $13.60 for 5.8 ounces on our cost chart. Exceptional. And I bring that up because I want you to know what you're paying per ounce. I want you to know where the value is. In Stirling, when it comes to software, it's really hard to beat the value. The formula is tested, it's proven, it's quite good. There's just no question about it. The razor today, yes. Harry's cart razor, yes. Cart razor, why not? There's a lot of people out there in this hobby who are just using, in fact, I just talked to Steve Davidson the other day, and he's not pursuing the hobby right now. I said, what are you shaving with? He says, well, I'm using one of the carts with a soap and a brush. And I'm like, hey, you can shave in a traditional style using some of this modern equipment. I know a lot of people in the traditional community don't like these, but we use them, and we hope other people will see these and go, hey, maybe I should try a brush. Maybe I should try a soap. So please don't be out there poo-pooing everything. There we have, I don't know, what is that, 2 days of growth? I usually shave my head every other day. We're gonna start out by misting. This is just plain water. No trickery there. We'll start out with the PAA pre-shave cube. We're trying to kill this one. And boy, I tell you what, these pre-shave cubes take a long time to use. You can really get a lot of use out of them, because I have used this one quite a bit, and you know, it's probably still half left. I mean, it's a lot of soap, and I have shaved just with the cube and it works just fine. So a cube can work well as a shaving soap in its own right. It's designed to be a pre-shave, and it does well, but you can actually shave with it. And every now and then, if I'm doing a head shave off cam and I'm in a hurry, I'll go with the cube and do a head shave, and it works really well, really well. Is that enough reallys in there? I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, we've got our pre-shave lathered up there, or at least frothed up a little bit, and we shall start lathering after we hydrate. Let's hydrate again. It's fun to hydrate with a mister, or at least it is for me. All right, very nice. And the brush I'm using today, PAA Atomic Rocket, nice brush that I really like using. I got plenty of hydration in this lather. The Stirling soaps will handle it. Again, it is a tested formula. I was just talking to David Gonzalez a little bit ago, and he made a video. Now, this is Wednesday today, but this probably won't air till Saturday, because I have another head shaving video that I'm airing today. I usually record these head shaving videos several days ahead. And anyway, David Gonzalez had done a video, and he was like, man, I just used Stirling, and it's really surprising that it lathers so well. And I'm like, yeah, it does. You know, it's a proven formula, and that's why they haven't really felt the need to change it. They're not, like I said before, they're here to make money in the business, to be sure. But they're not here to extract every penny. They want to sell you what they think is a very good product at a very reasonable price. And that is important to them. It is part of their goal as a company to bring value and not just, grab every penny. And so that's just sort of the way they do it. And I appreciate that. Now, on the other hand, I also appreciate the companies who sort of push the boundaries and they're always trying to improve. But honestly, and David, I think, mentioned this in his video when I just watched it a little bit ago. I could use this every day and it would be no problem. They have enough sense that, they would keep me busy for a good couple of months. And they do have, seasonal offerings. So they bring some stuff out in the summer and some stuff out in the fall and winter and so on and so forth. And so they really do a fine job overall. I think it's one of my favorite companies to deal with. They are some of my favorite people. They are legit. In my view, they're what you see is what you get. I've talked to them many times over the years. And as I mentioned in my interview with them, and if you haven't seen it, as I mentioned every time I use a Stirling product, if you haven't seen it, I'll link that video below. Give it a watch if you're curious about Stirling. I think you'll enjoy it. I certainly enjoyed sitting down with them. And I had a great deal of fun. Rod and Mandy, wonderful people, wonderful products. And they do it, again, they are also trying to be good stewards of your wallet. They're like, I'm not really comfortable paying much more than what we're charging for soap. So this is why we charge what we charge for soap. So I dig it. Now they're roasting coffee. That's their latest venture. And they also make other things like dot bags, razors, brushes. They're into a little bit of everything. So check them out. I'm telling you what, the quality of the product is first rate. It always has been. This is one of my favorite soaps to use. And I get a lot of pleasure out of using it because it works so well for what it costs. I'll put this formula up against anything in terms of the mechanics of the shave. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about the lather, the slickness, and what it takes to achieve a great shave. In terms of post, I don't know. That's not within my use case. You might get a better post using something else. But just when it comes to the actual shave and providing this platform to allow this razor to do its work, it's fantastic. Now, as to the Harrys, I know our buddy Mateo, who is a head shaver, really loves the Harry's razor, and that's part of the reason I'm using it today. Folks, please consider this. There are other people who are hobbyists who don't all use traditional razors or double-edged razors or straight razors. They use some of these wonderful soaps and aftershaves, but they like using a car. It works well for them. It's what they're comfortable with. And my perspective on that is, don't run those people off. Don't run those people off. They can enjoy their shaves just like we enjoy our shaves using traditional gear. And I'm telling you, for me, from my perspective, the most important thing for me when it comes down to it is that I'm using progressive hair reduction or beard, depending on what you're shaving, meaning I'm doing more than one pass, that I'm using a good quality soap, such as Stirling, A&E, whatever, throw it in there, PAA, Katie's Bubbles. I'm using a brush, and that I'm using traditional technique, progressive beard reduction, knowing how to shave, knowing when to go with the grain, against the grain, across the grain. Those things to me, using traditional technique, is the number one factor in your knowledge of your skin and your hair. Next comes, having a decent blade of some sort. And the blades on these Harrys are just fine. They're plenty sharp enough. No problem with it. And then, of course, comes soap, brushes. The brush, to me, is really the least important factor because any brush will work, let's be honest. Some feel better than others. We prefer some to others. Some people want to scrub their skin with a brush. That's okay if you want to. Again, not in my use case. I scrub in the shower. I don't need to scrub with a brush because I'm about to drag steel across my face. That's going to do exfoliation, right? So I'm not as much concerned with exfoliating with a brush. You're not going to exfoliate that much with a brush relative to what you're about to do with the steel. Or if you take a shower, you just scrub the face really nicely. Even if you have a ton of backbone in your brush, I really don't think you're going to be, exfoliating a ton. And probably if you are exfoliating, you're just moving it around. It's still laying on top of your skin. Whereas if I'm in the shower, that water's rinsing that off. I want it removed from my face. I don't want to exfoliate with this brush and for it to be trapped in my lather, and I'm just sort of shaving it, you know, over it. You know what I mean? So I would rather do the exfoliation in the shower. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. So again, taking the same philosophy, if people enjoy to scrub their face, they should. I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm just saying for me, it's not my thing. But I'm telling you right now, this shave today is going to go beautifully. We got plenty of lather here. Great quality. I'm telling you. When I hear people and they say they can't lather Stirling, I'm like, okay, we need to visit how you're lathering. And you don't have to do special things. Like, you can lather this almost any old kind of way and get a good lather. Now, if you have hard water, that might be a different scenario. But let's just assume you have decent water quality and it's not too hard with minerals and so on. You can lather the Stirling. You know, it's pretty tolerant. It's not finicky, because I don't really want finicky soaps. If I have to jump through hoops just to make a lather, I'm really not interested. Sometimes I like to push the boundaries of the lather by adding lots of water and trying things just to see how far you can push it. But I'm not interested in soaps that require special lathering methods. It's just not anything I'm interested in. I just want to get in here and have a really nice and enjoyable shave and enjoy the experience. That is the most important thing for me. And honestly, this cart, it's done a great job. It always does on the dome. I don't mind using carts on the dome whatsoever. They work very well. They don't really cause me any problems. Now, you might hate them. Again, that's okay. Use what you prefer. If you just don't want to use carts because you don't like that they have plastic in them, or whatever the case, you don't like the expense, that's okay. That's okay. But keep in mind that you should not be raining on everybody else's parade. Like Matteo, for example, from Italy, our buddy. He loves to use these. He loves to use the Defender, occasionally the Headblade, the Harry's, the Fusion, whatever. Now, I would say, I think the Harry's razor is a much better value than the Gillette offerings like the Fusion. It's more expensive for the blades. You can get these on Amazon, or you can get them directly from Harry's. I'll link some of these things below. The Harry's razor is more affordable than the Fusion. And for me, it does a great job. I mean, it really does. And I don't really have to be that careful with it, which is one advantage of using a cart razor. So if you are in a little bit of a hurry, and I don't like to be, quite frankly, I don't like to rush my shaves. But if you are in a hurry, you just want to get a quick dome shave in, or even a face shave, you can do it pretty quickly, with these. Now, you may have a type of beard that just hates, multi-blade things, and that's okay. Some people just really dislike multiple blades, and, if that is you, entirely okay. But what I ask of you is, please don't be off-putting to people in this hobby who do enjoy these things, because they spend money, they advocate for the hobby like other people. They watch the videos, they buy the products, they're buying the soaps and the brushes, and they're contributing to the hobby and contributing to the economy of the hobby, and that's good for all of us. So if you want to use whatever you're using, if you're shaving in a traditional style and you're not attacking people or being, a bad steward, our goals are aligned. If you want to broaden this tent that we're in, our goals are aligned. Our goals are not aligned if you're out there attacking people for maybe they want to use a cart like I am today, or you're just generally being a crap person. Our goals are, we are not in the alignment on those things. But if we're out here doing our advocacy and we're hoping that people will discover this really fun way of shaving and luxuriating, I would call it, let's stick together on this, rather than arguing and fighting. And we can have vigorous debates about, why we prefer one thing to the other. But ultimately, it's all about enjoyment. And so we should be enjoying ourselves and pushing other people to enjoy it, not pushing them out. You know, I want to be expanding the hobby, not constricting. And when you're poo-pooing things just because you don't use them in a very negative way that's off-putting, you're not expanding. You know, we want to have a growth mindset, or at least that's the way I approach it. And I hope you'll consider that yourself. So next time you see my buddy Claudio from Portugal, every now and then he'll break out an old Gillette sensor or Atra razor. Don't make a snarky comment and go, ugh, cart. Just go, hey man, I hope you enjoy your shaves. That's what we should be doing. Not trying to run people out of here. And you can't run Claudio out. So it doesn't matter how many times you use the Atra Plus or whatever. You're not going to run him out. But other people are more sensitive. And they don't feel like they belong if you're going to come and poo-poo it. How many ladies watch these videos and they still use some sort of card on their legs or under their arms? They're welcome. We should be welcoming them. Sorry, tongue twisted. No surprise. Great residual slickness on this soap, by the way, because you see me just going over and over and over these spots. I don't recommend you do that if you're new. But there is great residual slickness here. And you see it. No problems whatsoever. Terrific head shave. Comfortable. Nice. Feeling fantastic. And with that, I'm going to rinse the dome and then we'll come back and close this baby out. Stay tuned. And all right, we're back with the magic made by witches. And this is Thayer's Witch Hazel. This is cucumber. The Thayer's cucumber. It is witch hazel, aloe. Great stuff. This was a very enjoyable shave. We got level Cubo. Absolute BBS. Fantastic. And yes, even using a cart. Phenomenal shave. We used the Stirling Gentleman soap, which I'll show you the full tub or the full label right there. Excellent stuff. You may enjoy this scent. This is probably not one that I would buy. It wouldn't be one that I would avoid like the plague and go, ooh, I'll never buy that. But I wouldn't put this one at the top of my list. But the quality, fantastic. PAA Atomic Rocket, excellent. I'm going to finish off today with the Stirling Sandpiper aftershave. And bald gents and bald ladies, because I know we have some bald ladies that shave the dome too. This is our time to shine. When we have aftershave and we've got our dome shave in, we slap it on the dome. We got plenty of real estate to work with. We slap it on the face. And there should never be a time where we're slapping aftershave or product on the face that we're not also, let's go again, slapping it on the dome. Now, unless you have a skin condition or maybe you're treating a spot on your skin for something. But otherwise, you got the whole head as the canvas to paint these beautiful scents on. So take advantage of it. Thanks everybody for watching. This was a lot of fun. I hope it was for you too. Remember, be kind, welcome people to this tent. Don't push them out. I've been your host, CDB, and I'm reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, but be nice. Until next time, God bless.